Go ahead and, just for the record, say your name and the name of your book.
Bernie Swaim, Me Baja, No Hurry, No Worry.
Bernie, tell me how this book came about. What was the inspiration for it?
Well, yeah, basically what happened is people started dying. The people that I kind of grew up with down here since 1964, they started falling alongside of the road, and I was encouraged by some people in La Salina to try to record some of the history of the rather interesting characters that are portrayed in the book. And in fact, I kind of underplayed what they did when they were down here. It was a real fun time.
Did you change names of people?
No. No, I just waited until they died. Actually, there are a few people that are still alive in the book, and I took a few risks, but I felt that I treated them honestly but fairly to where they would not sue me. And so far I haven't been sued.
And wasn't there one man who actually brought you down here the first time?
Yeah, Art McLaren, a wonderful man. He was a captain on the San Diego Police Department when I was a young rookie patrolman. And he was kind of a hard-nosed old-time cop. But boy, when he started talking about Baja California, he became a pussycat. He loved the people down here, and he introduced me to Baja and caused me to love the people down here too. And it's just a wonderful place to be.
What year was that you first started?
1964.
So were you some of the first people that built La Salina?
Actually, La Salina has an interesting history. The first two people that built in La Salina were two women in 1946. One of them had a rather checkered past servicing the armed forces in World War II, and I won't even discuss what the other woman did, but they built what is now the cantina. It's been added on to several times. But this sounds funny, but women actually have done more to make La Salina, and I think Baja, really what it is. And going back to your question, yeah, McLaren built the first A-frame, a ski chalet type building on the beach, which fits the silliness of Baja pretty well. We had a ball building the place, and it was a landmark for a whole lot of years down here. People going south, this is where you dropped off the world when you passed the A-frame. Everything was stated that, okay, you get to the A-frame, you got another 20-some miles to Ensenada. And
is it still there?
It's still there. In fact, an interesting thing is some idiot saw the A-frame from the highway, pulled into La Salina, came over, took measurements of the A-frame, and recreated it almost exactly in La Bufadora. And that's still there too.
I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of up on the hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Where do we start here? Well, no, you already answered that. How about what was your biggest challenge, personal challenge in writing the book?
I think the biggest personal challenge was to make people be visible and understandable to the people that's reading the book, and be relatively honest with the people, but not put them down, not because they'd been drinking and there was a lot of drinking in those days, not make it like it was something that they shouldn't be doing, because it was something that they should be doing. They were enjoying Baja, and I call them the pioneros, and they really were pioneers, and left a lot of legacies for the people that came behind them.
What was the drive like coming down from Tijuana in 1964?
Oh God, you crossed the border, and where the PRI office is now, it was nothing but a sea of mud and cardboard shacks. And it was terrible. I saw kids playing soccer ball in water 2 foot deep and living in that kind of condition. And then as you proceeded south, there was no toll road. And that was really the nice thing about it. There wasn't a toll road because people stopped and visited with the what I call the historians of Baja, the bartenders, and listened to the mariachis, and that explained the soul of Baja to people. And it would take sometimes 8 hours from leaving Tijuana to get to La Salina, which is about a 40-minute drive. But you stopped and you savored the people coming down. After the toll road, people seem to just go, zoop, and right on past some really, really interesting people. And I think that's a shame. I think people ought to take a little time and see what's out there, and particularly interact with the Mexican people, because they've got a lot to teach you. I think the most important thing for me was the fact that they taught me that this silly thing on my wrist had no meaning. Time had no meaning. The only way time had a meaning for you in Baja was if you were enjoying it with good company. Because an hour passed or 2 hours passed, it didn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. And when you're on the other side of the border, time is your captive. You are held hostage by time. And that's a shame. That's a shame.
So can you put into words what it is about Baja that's made you come back for almost 40 years?
Yeah, very simply, the people. Very, very simply. Not just the Mexicans, the Americans, the type of Americans that come to Baja. We're here at this beautiful resort today, and interacting with guys like Harry Crosby, who he's not just a writer, he's a trailblazer. And Jimmy Smith, who was at my house last night, a wonderful man. The guy's, he overwhelms me with what he knows about Baja. And you get to learn from them. And it's just fantastic. The people are just wonderful.
How has writing this book changed you?
I think, if anything, it's done two things for me. It's made me more open. I think I was always fairly open with people. You can't be a closed-minded person and be a cop for 25 years. And it's made me appreciate people even more. It's kind of, to me, it's kind of tough writing a book, because what you're doing is you're putting your heart right down here in your sleeve, and it hurts when somebody picks your book up and looks at it and goes, "Thanks." On the other side of the coin is the fact that when somebody picks up your book and caresses it without even reading it, you know you've hit a chord with those people, and that, to me, a very important chord. And it's just another step to growing, as far as I'm concerned.
When a reader finishes your book, puts it down, what message do you hope to leave with them?
That Baja is a fun, comfortable learning experience that more and more people should experience.
What about after your book was published? What do you wish had been included that didn't get into the final?
That should have been included, that wasn't included?
Yeah.
Oh, there's just so many things. I mean, how do you compress 40 years into 285 pages, or 291 pages? I don't think anybody can do it. That's why I'm already got 18 chapters on my next book in a pretty good form.